2 months ago, I bought this bike. It's called a Huffy, 29-inch is the size. It is 168 US dollars from Walmart. So I'm going to do a bit of a review of this bike. So I've taken it a few places. This is me at Red Canyon National Park in Utah, or might have been a state park. I found some ice there down the bottom of Losi Canyon, it's called. I was extremely excited about finding this ice because as a Northern Australian, we don't see ice on the ground very often. Tried to break off a little piece, but unfortunately, it was very solid. So I couldn't break off a piece to show it to the camera. I had to stop here to retighten my handlebars, but I made it to the top of Alosi Canyon, just here. And I took the bike a bit to Bryce Canyon National Park. As you can see, it's extremely cold. The bike and we went through a little bit of snow. You can see some of that white color on the barrier there. That's actually snow. But at least, even though it was cold, the view was very nice, as you can see behind me. Walmart keeps their costs a bit lower. So obviously they order in bulk. But another way that they keep their costs lower is that their staff put the bikes together. So I have a feeling that the staff are not trained bicycle mechanics or anything like that. They just put them together. This is the bike here. I've just got back to the campsite. So as you can see, Huffy is the brand. And it is like a on-road, off-road sort of thing. So kind of mountain bike-ish. It's got some shocks on the front. This one's called a Rock Creek. And as I said before, it is 29 inches is the size of the bike. So it's the biggest one I could find. From the front, this is what it looks like. It's got sort of wider tires so we can take it off-road. The brakes, they are these padded brakes. They squeal a lot when you use them. It's annoying, but they work. And then the handlebars are a little bit of a pain. They have been a little bit of a pain. That little silver bolt down there at the bottom, it's got a little hex attachment. So you use a hex, like an Allen key, to tighten it. And that handlebar keeps coming loose. So I've had to start carrying a little tool around with me to tighten it up every so often, which is quite annoying. The gears, there's 18 gears on this bike. So we've got those 3 gears on the back and then the rest on the front, and the rest of them are on the back. The gear changes are not super smooth on this bike either. This front section here, this bit, I don't know whether the bolt inside is slightly damaged or whether it was just put on a little bit of an angle. But when I cycle, the front gears wobble a little bit. And usually it's not a problem, but from time to time, if I'm going up a hill or something like that, it might just wobble a little too far and it gets kicked into a different gear halfway up a hill. So that's not ideal. This back gear as well, it does slide from time to time, especially in the lower gears. So I'm not 100% sure what that's for. I might look into it in future and see if there's something I can do to actually fix that up. With my seat, because I have to put my seat up so high, because I am so tall, the metal underneath the seat actually slightly bent. So while I've been cycling, this metal here, I guess maybe I had, jumped down hard on the seat or something like that, and this bit of metal actually bent. So I have a feeling it's not made of very strong metal either. But the tires, I believe they must be quite thin. So the outer tube and the inner tube must be quite thin because we have had a lot of punctures in our tires. But there is this green goo that you can buy from Walmart that you can actually squeeze into your inner tube, and that goes and seals any punctures that come onto your tire. And they've actually been quite good, that green goo. It's obviously not expensive because it's Walmart after all. One of the tires of the bikes, not this bike, we bought 2 of them, not this bike, but the other bike, the wheel had a bit of a wobble in it. So the wheel actually wasn't straight. And it just seemed that the spokes on the wheel, they weren't properly put in. So we took it to a proper bicycle mechanic and he charged us like $15 and he just fixed the spokes on there. On the topic of the spokes and the tires, the same tires that were repaired by the bicycle mechanic where he adjusted the spokes when we hit a bump in a road on one of the national parks we went to, the tire once again kind of got a bit of a wobble in it. So now that tire has to be repaired again. And it's just the strength of these bikes. They're not super strong. So that's something to keep in mind if you are also thinking of purchasing this type of bike. But in saying all of those things, the bikes have done very well considering the cost of them. The cost of even a second-hand mountain bike could be at least twice as much as what we paid for this one. So overall, they've been fairly good bikes. If I had to buy another bike again, I would definitely consider buying this one again and hope to have many more adventures with it in the future. If you are interested in following along the journey as I travel through the United States and through Central America, please subscribe to these videos.